Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Yeah, let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up, cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, though. Positive attitudes, behavior, that's a lifelong dream goal.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become the better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.
Health matters to me.
Good morning, CSRA. This is Jackie.
And Coach Patrick.
And you're listening to Health Matters here on WAAW Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel truth.
This is a lovely day the Lord has made.
And we're going to choose intentionally and rejoice and be glad in it.
Yes. The joy of the Lord is our strength, and I'm getting stronger and stronger every day as I get up to face it.
Amen.
That is my declaration.
All right. So, you already started your Saturday morning, huh?
Yeah, most definitely.
That's good. It's good to set your day. It's good to set your day how you want it. You're in control of that. You're in control of that. It's what you choose to think on and what you choose to act on, and you get to choose that. But it's an intentional effort.
There you go. Because
it's an intentional effort.
The way you started off is the way it's probably going to end. So
absolutely.
If you wanted to start off good, then start speaking some good.
That's work, Coach, because you got to, I'm practicing looking at things from different perspective from others. I may not agree, but just looking at things from a different perspective. So I think that kind of just helped not get overwhelmed and stressed out about things. And that's one thing that we're going to be talking about today, so that, stress and how it affects your health. But we want to say happy birthday.
Yes, most definitely. Happy birthday to everyone that's celebrating birthdays in this great month of January. Our pastor be celebrating his birthday on tomorrow. Happy birthday to my sister. She celebrated a birthday earlier this January. I'm pretty sure there's others out there celebrating.
Elaine Jones.
Miss Elaine Jones.
She's celebrating her birthday.
So happy birthday, Elaine. Happy birthday, Deborah. Deborah
McDaniels. Yes, she's celebrating her birthday. And we celebrated ours 42nd anniversary.
Yes.
42 years.
42 years. Can you believe? And most people say we don't even look 42, but hey, that's all God. That is all God. But we started young, but we're still pushing, we're still embracing, and we're still becoming. Becoming. 42 years. This has been my friend for life. She's going to be my wife to the end, and I love her, and she's my best friend. I enjoy doing life with her.
Friend. Thank you.
I enjoy doing life with you, baby.
Same here.
Yeah. All right. So happy birthday, happy anniversary to everyone that's celebrating their birthdays and anniversaries. Our sponsors, partners, friends, we're going to recognize them. Dr. Dan of Aiken Chiropractic. When your spine is aligned, your body is too. Aiken Chiropractic is located at 425 Lawrence Street, Northwest, right here in Aiken, South Carolina. Their number is 803-641-9191. Their website is www.aikenchiropractic.com. And to be a sponsor, a partner, a friend of this broadcast, you can call 706-592-8862. We would love for you to partner with us to help us do what we do here at the station as we be the voice of the gospel truth right here on Shout 94.7 FM.
Without further ado, we're going to bring on our sponsor, our friend, our Dr. Dan Jolie of Aiken Chiropractic. Good morning, Dr. Dan. Good morning to you. Good morning, Dan. Good morning. Welcome to a new year, new reset, and we ready. We're ready for some freshness. We're ready for some news, some reset.
It's good to be back. I was going to say, Happy New Year to everybody listening and watching. We had a busy year last year, but I took a little time around the holidays for my family and us, and we had a little fun time. But
Awesome.
started working hard again, so gotta go and do it. And I always think about, when the holidays come, I always feel like just before Christmas, New Year's, I'm like, this is a great part of the year. There's several things coming up, so you got the Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's. I also have a birthday in the beginning of December, so I got like four things to look forward to. And
Awesome.
also, you always take some time off at the end of the year, so it was good. But then, that goes away, and you
Right.
go back to work, and you start thinking, oh, another year. So I wanted to talk a little bit about stress and how stress affects us, and what can chiropractic maybe possibly do to, cope with that better. But I always feel a little bit stressful as the new year starts because I'm thinking, man, I'm back at the beginning. I'm at the starting line again, so I gotta
Yeah. Yeah.
keep going.
Get ready
Gotta
to
do
do it
another
all
year.
again, right? Get ready to do
Yeah,
it all over again.
do it all over again, and how many more years do I have, but hopefully it's still to come,
Right.
because my goal is to work till I'm around 70. I mean, I'm 57, so I like to do it for another 13 years if I can. That'll be
Awesome.
my goal. So we'll see how it goes, but so far so good. I feel good. I mean, I'm pretty healthy. I can physically do it. I'm mentally pretty strong, and so that's what we need to do. We need to talk a little bit about, health, and a little bit about stress and how stress affects us, and what really is stress.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got all kinds of stresses,
That's
but
right.
if you
Good and
look at
bad. Good and
yeah,
bad.
yeah. So if you look at the World Health Organization has a definition of stress, and WHO defines stress as a state of worry or mental tension caused by a difficult situation. That's the kind of their definition of what stress really is. However, most people tell you stress is all the stuff that happens in life, your work, your kids, financial stuff, trying to hold everything together, And so that's really what it is. And just like you said just a second ago, certain types of stress could be positive. There will be the, every day to day small amount of stress that we have, that makes us sharper, that makes us better, that makes us perform at a better level in our lives. And, you got to take your kids to school tomorrow, or you got a deadline for your job or something. And it's a little stressful. All of that is stressful. But those
Mhm.
are relatively good stresses because that's called responsibility. And so you got to just do it, and
The
then you feel
normal
good
stress.
about it. Yeah,
Right.
it's a normal thing. And then
Mhm.
you feel good about it. You do something like that and you're done and you look back and you say, well, I performed good. I did good at my job. I helped my kids succeed in their lives. I did good for some other people. That makes you feel good. So that type of stress, it's relatively good for us because it pushes us to do better.
Mhm.
But the bad stress is what I call chronic stress. That is a bit different. That's something that we could develop and that we could have, and it doesn't go away. Like you do your job, your kids are safely in bed, and at the end of the day, you can relax. You can say, okay, I did all I'm supposed to do, and I can sleep like a baby. But this other chronic stress is a problem. And
Mm.
so that's really what I wanted to talk about. What does that do? How do we know we have chronic stress? And what do we do about it?
Mm.
Well, there's a lot of things that you can read on the internet or different tools that they have or ideas how to handle that type of stress. Things like meditation or hot bath or yoga, that kind of stuff. And all of that stuff is helpful, okay? But if you're in the middle of what you do normally every day, your real life, it's not always realistic to have that much time to do all these things. So, there's other things people can do there. Don't take super long time to do it. Depends how
Mhm.
much free time you have. So, how does stress really affect us? Well, there are different types of stresses, okay? There is mental stress, there's emotional stress, physical stress, there's chemical stress, all kinds of stuff. So, emotional is pretty bad. physical, affects your physically, your body, your muscles, your joints. Chemicals, well, that's from the environment. It could be from, stuff we eat or breathe or drink. It could be also from medication we take. So there's things that, or it could be bad things that we do every day. I mean, people still smoke. I don't know why people still smoke. It's proven to be bad. But,
that's probably a development coping mechanism that they put in place, which is not a very healthy one.
No, yeah. So that's a chemical stress to the body. Not to mention vaping and also drinking a lot of alcohol and doing all these bad things. So that's all really stressful to the body. So it's important thing to understand that stress doesn't just affect us at the physical level. It does, but there's more. It goes deeper than that. It can affect your mood, your outlook on life, your mental health. And we talked about mental health, before. And then mental health can, show up in all facets of life. It can affect us at work, at our home, at our relationships. And then if it's, this kind of stress is, constant, then it's not just annoyance. I mean, it really affects our quality of life,
Right.
So, how do we know what are the signs that we actually are experiencing some of these chronic type stresses? Well, what you call symptoms or what have you, but signs. Well, one of them, it's not in particular order, but one of them is irritability. So if we are quickly irritable and everything bothers us, something's going on with you, something's got to change. Because, if you just kind of feeling on edge all the time and people can't even tell you something without you getting all upset and irritable. Case in point, look at what's going on in this country, politically and on the news. There's always bad stuff. I mean, is there any good news recently? I mean, it's just from bad to worse. I mean, it's terrible. I would not let that bother me physically myself, because I know there's not much I can do about it myself. I remember I went to see my parents last year in for the summer, and they live in Europe. They live in a little country called Serbia. Actually, my youngest son is there right now. He ended up moving there just recently, and he wants to live there. I don't know if how long he's gonna stay, but we decided to live there. Yeah. It's a nice country. It's a nice city. It's a big city called Belgrade. It's a, Christian city. And, some things in some ways are maybe even better there right now, but, who's to say, but the point I'm trying to make, I saw this somewhere on the internet. Somebody said, if you want to hate America, if you want to hate our country, watch the news, but if you want to love America, don't watch the news, go travel and talk to people. And I 100% agree. I think people in our country are wonderful people. Everybody wants the same thing out of life. We all want to have a safe environment and live healthy and have a good future for our kids and all that. And we just want it to be stable and a good place to live and work, But, you watch the news and it's just, weird stuff happening. So, that's a huge stressor right there. People are becoming more and more irritable because of everything else, but also because of that. So when I went to Serbia this summer, my dad goes to me. He looks at the news there all the time. My mom never watches the news because she doesn't let that upset her. He watches news like he's the president of the country. He's just retired. He's 82. And he won't skip, a news channel every day. And then I was there. He goes to me, Dan, Trump, your president, just put tariffs against Serbia. And I forget the number. It was like 30-something%. And he said the tariffs against European Union are less, like 20-something% than Serbia. Serbia is no member of European Union. It's independent still. He says, why did Trump put more tariffs on us than he did on European Union? I said, Dad, I don't know, but let me call Trump right now, but there's nothing I can do about it, you know what I mean? It's like silly.
It's out of your control.
Right. Yeah, it's not like I could call Trump and be like, hey, can you leave calm with those things? You're upsetting my dad, It's like, there's nothing I can do about it. I'm like, but Dad, stop watching news. I mean, you're 82 years old, you're retired, you don't have a business anymore. Are you into some kind of business that this affects you? Are you into import, export business? No, you're not. Is this going to affect your pension, your check you get every month? No, it won't. So why are you raising your blood pressure and talking to me about something I cannot do anything about. So the point I'm trying to make, people seem to be more irritable with all the stuff happening, but there's things that's, what can I do about it? I mean, I just go about my business. What we can do is help ourselves on a local level, and then when it's time to vote, you vote. That's all you can do. So, get over yourself, and no, you're not gonna like everything somebody does in power, anyways. People always complain about something, but there is no perfect person that's going to be a president one day that's going to fix everybody. It's not.
Right. Well, like you say, Dr. Dan, that's nothing. If something's out of hand, you got to learn just how to,
yeah,
hey, I
yeah,
can't do anything. If I could, I
yeah,
would. And, and
yeah,
that could be a stretch management tool that you use,
yeah.
because I tell you, the more you look at this news, the more it can really stress you out and get you into a bad place.
The only thing I can say, don't watch the news all the time. I mean, just don't.
That's
Just
what
keep
I
it.
just want to say, Dr. Dan.
Yeah,
You
you
know.
have to. Yeah, pull away from
I
it.
mean, it's terrible, and I don't agree with a lot of stuff happening, but there's not much I can do about it, and I gotta live my life, and I don't want that to upset me and my family and my health.
Mhm.
I'm doing the best I can for people that I can reach. My patients, my staff, my wife, my kids. Everybody that I know, I do the best I can with them. But all this global stuff. Are we going to invade Greenland? I mean, is that really happening? I
Yeah,
mean, it is
you know,
hilarious to think that way, and
mhm.
I don't know. But what can I personally do about it? I don't think it will happen, to be honest, but hopefully some smarter people will prevail. But that is just ridiculous. So I just
Another
want,
thing we have to throw in that too, Dr. Dan, would be social media. We have to manage that
yeah.
too.
Most of the things, here's another thing that I read too. Most of the things you read on social media are lies. They
Yep.
lie to you and
Yeah.
manipulate you all the
Yeah.
time. So you can't really tell what
What's
really
real?
transpired. I don't know. So you can, all of this stuff we're talking about right now that people do, that it's a choice. You can choose for this stuff not to affect you in a bad way, and live your life, properly, and don't get distracted with this stuff. Or you can choose to get into it like crazy, and just can't sleep at night. But in the end, when you look at it, either way, they're manipulating you. They're either manipulating you to do something or not do something. I choose to just live my life, and be normal. And
Yeah.
one of my kids went to Europe, and before he was thinking about doing that, I'm thinking, why are you going there? I think it's better here. And now I'm thinking, maybe it isn't, maybe it isn't. But
Mhm.
I changed my mind. He's almost 19, and he's an adult, and he's actually pretty smart about it. And you know what? I'm going to support him. I'm going to support my kid.
Mhm.
Ultimately, it's his decision. I can't say, listen, you can't go anywhere. No, that's wrong. He
Right.
wants to go. He made a decision. He made plans about it. He's actually going to study remotely from United States on the computer. So he's continuing to study what he started, but
Mhm.
from there, which is fine. We supported him. My parents are there. They're going to help him out. And you know what? From his standpoint, he's young. Aiken's a small town, and I lived in big cities when I was, younger, and I lived in New York City back in the early 90s, and I loved it. He wants to experience a bigger city. He wants to try a different lifestyle. And I say, do it now while you have nobody forcing you down. Like, you have no kids, you have no wife, you don't have
Right.
anybody, no spouse. So, once you get older, you can just go. There's things you gotta, do.
That's right.
And so now he can do it. So I'm like, hey, you know what? Okay, go do it. And I look at it positive. My parents are getting in the age there. My dad is 82. My mom is 79. I'm thinking, hey, maybe it's good that they have him over there
That's
in
right.
case something
Right.
happens.
That's a good way to look at it.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna
Yeah.
go visit. And he might come
And
back, but
it's
you
good you
know,
give him that freedom, though. It's good that you give
yeah.
him the freedom of
Well,
choice like that to try to, do something that maybe he would like. If he
yeah.
goes over there and finds out that he don't like it, he can always
That's
go.
it. You gotta let him try. And I don't know, it's definitely, making us sad not to see him every day, but
Right.
he's an adult, and we raised him right when he is independent, and he's able to do this, without any fear. He's doing it. He's doing just fine, and he's happy. And what's he gonna do in life? I can't program his whole life for him. He can go and have different experiences, and he might come back in a month. He might stay forever. I don't know, but it's his choice to make. It's not mine, and that's why we're letting him. Just a quick little detour. My wife told me just the other day, her sister lives in New Jersey, and they have three kids, and one of her kids is a daughter, and she's in high school, and so there was some girls from her class that went to New York City. Like, they live in New Jersey. New York City is not that far. I mean, that's a quick bus drive. Or anyway, so these three girls went to Manhattan, New York. These are her friends. She wasn't there. It was three other girls, and they went there in the middle of Manhattan, which is a developed area, and they all have cell phones and everything. And there's I guess it's the fault of the parents and this whole helicopter parenting thing. They started calling back one of their parents saying, "Oh, we got lost. We don't know where we are." They started crying. I mean, in the middle of New York City.
Wow.
And one of the parents jumped in her car and went there to get them. I mean, how crazy is that? It's like,
that can stress you out.
Yeah. But they're not teaching these kids to be independent. They're not giving them tools to survive in life on their own. I mean, that's just a symptom of, how they didn't really raise them properly. That to me will be more stressful than letting my kid go on its own and actually be successful. I mean, I came to this country as well from Europe when I was between 20 and 21. I kind of did the same thing he's doing, except I was a couple of years older. And look at me, I'm doing fine. I mean, life is an adventure. I enjoy being in this country. I met a lot of wonderful people. I enjoy meeting people. I enjoy the variety of experiences you experience in the United States. I lived in New York. I lived in outside of New York, in New York State. I lived in New Jersey. I went to Rutgers University. Met my wife there. Lived in Atlanta. Lived in Charleston. Now, I lived in Aiken, and when I look back, the longest I lived in one place has been in Aiken. I've been in Aiken over 22 years now, and I came here when I was younger. So, I live here in Aiken longer than I lived in Europe. So, and I like it. I mean, I enjoy it here, but I love traveling. I love going places, and to me, that is a strength of this country is the variety of things and people you get to see. So let's not lose that variety. I mean, that variety is very important, So go back to this stress. I mean, all of this is stressful.
Before you go there, hold that thought, because everything you just talked about, you started off talking about good, bad, normal stresses. Those are the normal stresses of life that we face. Believe it or not, those things cause stress when you have to make these different decisions, and like you say, when you see your kid leave, now that changes the whole dynamics in your household. That causes some stress.
Right.
But these are the normal things of stress that we have to do.
Good stresses, though, know. Yeah.
Well, mine and my wife's goal has always been to we have two boys, to make them independent thinkers and make decisions for themselves, and make sure when they grow up, they can be on their own. They can be comfortable living whatever they are. I don't want to make them invalids or disabled people. They can't leave the house, and they can't even cross the street without freaking out. So that's not what we wanted to do. And so my other son, he called us just recently. He's studying at Clemson. He's over 20. He'll be 21 in 3 months. Anyway, he's going to be an mechanical engineer, and he's doing an internship. They call that a co-op at Clemson. That's through Clemson, and that's really good. So he gets to work for 3 semesters. And they pay him, and you also get to put on your resume, and that can be a prelude into getting a job one day, as an engineer. So he's working in his field. So he called us up just recently and said he's working at this company outside of Greenville, which isn't that far from where he's living over there. And I like Greenville. Greenville's a beautiful town. City.
Yes, it is.
Beautiful. If he ends up staying there, I'll be happy with that. But they have multiple locations, and they have a factory outside of a little town in Tennessee. It's past Knoxville. I forgot the name of it, but it's 3 hours away. So he said to us, "Hey, something's going on. They need to go to this factory. Something to do with, I don't know, machines that they need to, I don't know, look at. I mean, it's all digital. He worked with lasers, and I mean, he's doing some really cool stuff. And he's an intern. Okay, he's a student. They're taking him with him, So they're going to actually spend 2 days there, or 2 or 3 days. They're going to sleep there. They're going to put him in a hotel or whatever. And I don't know, a few people from this facility is taking the trip, I guess, to solve whatever problem they have over there, and they're taking him with him. How cool is that?
That's
So he
awesome.
gets all this experience, and he's not saying, "Oh man, I mean, why am I going to sleep?" No, no, he's enjoying the opportunity, to go to another place and see what else is. I mean, that's a great exposure right there.
Yes, it
So,
is.
I'm trying to make sure my kids are, people they can survive anywhere, and they're open to different experiences and all that. So that's what I'm doing, or we are doing as parents, with our kids, and I don't worry about them. I know they're going to do really good in life, because you have to have that strength. You cannot have the fear. It's not good to create kids that are attached to the parents at the hip. So whatever they end up, that's really their life. Just like my parents didn't think that me and my brother are gonna go. I ended up in the United States. He ended up in Vancouver, Canada.
Mm.
And we have good lives. We love it. We both do really well, and that's just the way, purpose was for me, that God made for me. And you can't just plan things. You just do it, and that's a divine intervention. So
There you go.
I
That's
think
it.
I think I was meant to be here. I was meant to be here. I was meant to do what I do,
That's
and
it.
I'm good at it.
Right.
And
Yes.
sometimes you just got to understand that and go with the flow.
Yeah.
And I sleep like a baby. I sleep great every night because I
That's a
know
good thing.
I,
So you
I don't have
no
any
stress.
worries.
No
That's
We
good.
stress.
raise the
And
kids
yeah,
right.
let's talk about how we talked about all of that, and we know
Yeah,
that can create stress. Some of it is good stresses, some of it, is not. So how that affects how chiropractic care can help with
yeah.
that. Some people,
With
I
the
mean,
stresses.
I have ran into some people, they are stressing out. They don't even know
All
where
right.
their next meal are coming from. So let's talk about how chiropractic care can help with that.
Right. So, chiropractic is not, cure all or solve every single. I mean, it's a part of the whole thing. Like it's a part of the whole system. But what does it do? Number one, chiropractic affects your nervous system. It gives nervous system support. Your nervous system, which is your brain and your spinal cord and all these nerves in between, well, it controls and coordinates the function every living cell, organ, and organ system in your body. That's really the definition. But it influences everything from your heart rate down to your digestion and your ability to relax and recover after the day's work or what have you. So, when your spine is actually healthy and moving well, then your nervous system communicates better and more efficient, between your, brain and your body. I mean, and so, that's what one of the things that chiropractic does. Like when you do this, you literally relax, like your body will function at the proper level. You take away all the obstruction, and the body just functions. I have patients tell me all the time, it's not that I just feel better. Like I can definitely feel better in my joints and all that. I can walk, I can do things I couldn't do before. But like I don't stress out anymore. Like I'm more relaxed. I'm more at ease.
Mm.
So that's one of those side effects. Another effect would be, pain relief and, increased range of mobility. We're designed to move. The body is, all connected, and just like anything, some things are gonna get stuck over time, and so you gotta unstuck those joints. It's like, with a car, we put oil in the engine. Well, where's
Mhm.
the oil change for our spine? Where's the oil change for our body? I mean, we have to take care of our body. I mean, when you sit all day long, that's not healthy. You got to get out and exercise and walk, but you can't really walk unless you have good range of motion. So you got to unstuck those joints. You got to get them moving, and also the pain needs to go down so you could go and exercise. I'm amazed. Like I'm 57, and I actually started working out again. I already did it like 6 or 7 times. That's kind of like my thing to do this year. I
Mhm.
looked at my pictures from a few years ago. I look better a little bit. I gotta get back to
Uh-oh.
that, but I am fine. But every
Yeah.
day when I'm at
Mhm.
work, though, I'm physically moving too. Like I get
Right.
home at the end of the day, and I'm tired, but I feel good. I feel like I did something positive in my life, and I feel good about myself, and that makes me kind of sleep like a baby. But I have to physically be active all day long. Give you another example of that, inactivity, what inactivity causes. One of my really, really close friends, just, in December, ends up in a hospital. He ended up in Aiken Regional here. His wife texted me. I mean, she's the lady that ran my office in Florida for 16 years. Anyway, she texted me that he's in the hospital. So we went to visit him and everything. He just started feeling bad, and something was wrong that's more than what he normally feels. And so they took him to the hospital. Anyway, he had heart attack. Actually, they think he had more than one.
Wow.
And so he's in there, and he spent a whole week in the hospital. We went to visit him several times. In the end, so he's released, but in the end, they had to put two stents around his heart. He had, a couple of arteries were blocked. And he's a computer guy, computer programmer, and he was stressed at work. He was working around the clock, like 7 days a week, and all that was sitting. So he told me, he says, I don't know if I did, 300 steps all day, like I'm sitting at a computer all day long for days, not good. And then couple that with probably not a good diet, and there you go. He almost died. I mean, he could have died. I mean, he had blockages around his heart. So he's going to be okay. But just to let you know, he is 50. Okay. His age is 50.
Wow.
And I'm 7 years older.
Yeah.
And, I'm just telling you how important it is to move. And, the doctor that took care of him there, the cardiologist, Dr. Arthur, a lot of people know him here in Aiken. He's actually a cardiologist. Anyway, Dr. Arthur told him, like, well, you're just not walking enough. You have to exercise. You got to walk. You got to watch, your diet and the sodium intake and all that stuff. He wasn't eating and drinking properly, but also he wasn't exercising. He wasn't walking. He was simply sitting around working all the time. That's stress right there, and could have died. So please, people, we got to walk. And when I said that in the past, when you get adjusted, you'll move better. Your joints will move better. You have less pain, you have more mobility, and you can walk. And the goal, what I read, the goal is 7,000 steps a day. That is just for wellness care. That is just to stay well. So that's not like going to make you an athlete or anything. But 7,000 steps is what most of the doctors that I subscribe to recommend. So 3,000 is better than nothing, but it's not enough. My goal is 10,000 a day. It would be better to do 10,000, but 7,000 is achievable, and that's all day long. That's not all at one time. So that's important. Another thing that chiropractic also helps you with, like I also touched up on that, gives you more comfort and mental clarity. As the physical tension decreases, people told me that as well. They feel improvements in how they focus, their concentration, and just overall comfort. So chiropractic is not a direct treatment for mental health conditions, but it should be part of the whole picture. And when he addresses all these physical aspects of the stress, all of this stuff helps, and you can actually think more clear. I get adjusted sometimes, and all of a sudden I feel like a light bulb goes up in my head. It's like, how is that? Well, maybe those nerves, they just do a better job when they're not compressed, when they're not irritated.
And like you say, Dr. Dan, I can see an immediate release because you're releasing that muscle tension, and you're improving circulation, for the body, so that you get into a rest mode.
Yes, so it's just a part of the whole thing. So, I would say we go back to those 5 factors of health that we always mention, but that is so important. It's such a simple thing, but everybody needs to remember, 5 things you got to do, and you got to do them every day if you want to live long and enjoy your life. So if you want to talk about it real quick, but one of them is nutrition. You got to eat certain way. And again, all of these are kind of topics to themselves. Another one will be exercise and just physically moving and all that. Another one will be, what I was going to say, the sleep. Sleep is very important. You got to have that sleep. Another one will be the proper functioning nervous system, which is where chiropractic fits in as well. And then the 5th one will be that positive attitude, positive mental attitude.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yeah. If you watch all this news and see all this terrible news, it's going to affect your attitude. Don't let these people do that to you. Don't let them mess you up. I mean, we're being bombarded with all this stuff every single day. Don't turn into a grumpy person, you got to fight that back, Some things you're going to agree with politically, some things you're not going to agree with politically, but don't let it, mess you up. Don't get too deep into it, I just, I don't know what else to say. Like, I really hate politics. I don't even want to look into it. I just want to live my life and, do the best I can. But, in order to do that these days, you can't even watch the news. I wake up in the morning, I put a local news channel on. I want to see the weather, and I want to see what's locally happening in Aiken and Augusta. That's really what I want to know.
That's
And,
it.
once they start doing the global news, I tune it out because I'm not a president. I mean, there's nothing I can do about it. And what I can do is provide for the people around me. And then once the voting is in, I'll vote again the best way I feel like I know how. But, things never change. I mean, I lived in this country for a long time, and you can vote all you want, but in the end, things are still the way they are. It's like prices keep going.
Yeah, especially at the federal level. I mean, politics has really shifted, and
It has.
it's more about the power and the money than the people now. And
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 it's always been,
that's what stresses. It's always been that way, but it's even worse now.
it is worse.
So,
Well, all the wars in the past, they always start because of money and power. I mean, all the wars are because of money. I mean, what did we do with Venezuela just recently? If Venezuela had no oil, we probably wouldn't even care, but they have oil. So, that's why we're there. And same thing with World War One and World War Two. It's always power and money. And all these powerful people, they just want more. They, is it ever enough money, And so, to normal people, you kind of want to, buy a house or buy a car and pay for your kids' education, stuff like that, have health care. But, these people, they are super rich and super powerful. They think differently, because they already have all that. That's not exciting enough for them. And I think that's why all this stuff. So really, we're the ones allowing these people to do that to us because we're the ones voting for them and and reading all this stuff. So I choose to be as much away from that as possible. I don't want to influence me. I'm going to do my job the best I know how and help people around me. That's really what I can do. And all this other stuff, go brainwash somebody else. I'm not going to let them brainwash me as much as I can. What can I do? I mean, there's not anything else I can do about it. So, I just, my mom is the same way. She's like, I never watch the news. The news is always bad. I go outside for a walk. I go to a coffee shop, do that. Do what people used to do before all this bad stuff has happened. Right. Enjoy your life. That's why I like to ride a motorcycle. I go on a bike trip. I haven't done it recently, but if I do it, it's great. It's just a reliever of tension and stress. When I'm on a bike, it's just me and the motorcycle, and you feel everything, you smell everything, you hear stuff. The nature, the older I get, the more I like the nature. I mean, when I was in my early 20s and I came to New York City, I have to tell you, I was fascinated by the city. I never seen a city like that before. I've been to Paris and, London and all that more than once, but they are nothing like New York City. And I just couldn't believe that this place existed. And I wanted to be a part of it. I was like, I want to live here for a while. This is fun. There's always something to do in a major city. But now, and I'm 57, you can't pay me to live there. I would not live in that city for any amount of money. Yeah, you can have the, cement jungle all you want. It doesn't attract me one iota. I love nature. I love to go outside, and I love the mountains here. I love going, in the mountains and the lakes and the back roads, but there's nobody around. You're just you and, driving around and walking and hiking and seeing waterfalls. And, I can go to the beach too, but I don't know. The coast seems more built out. There's really not as many empty spaces anymore like it used to be. But
that's my place there, Dr. Dan. I love the beach. I love the water. I love the sand. But
I like it too. I took a couple of weeks off for the holidays, and the second week for New Year's and all that, we went to St. Pete, Florida, and we spent 6 days there. One of the reasons was the kid was leaving, so I wanted to spend more time with him. But it was warmer than here, and I enjoyed it. But after 6 days there, I was happy to come back here. It's just,
I know. That's awesome. You're ready to come back home.
Yeah,
I could do it for a while.
You talk about how chiropractic care may help, people that are, chronic stress and things of that nature. Give us some other pointers. You talked about, being outside, which is really a good stress relief. Give us some other things that can, help us, relieve that stress.
Yeah, so part of those five factors of health, you need to exercise, you need to walk, or whatever activity you like. I mean, I like riding bicycles, so that's something I've been doing. And you guys both e-bikes, and we really need to get together and do that when the weather gets nice.
Yes, let's
Uh,
make a date.
I know. So e-bikes are great. I think they're wonderful. Like I told you before, I go to Beaufort fairly often, Beaufort, South Carolina. It's only a couple hour drive from where I live in Aiken, actually less than 2 hours. And I get to their greenway over there. I bring my e-bike on the back of my truck and I offload it and I go ride there. There's a greenway. It's called the Spanish Moss Trail. Used to be a railroad. Now it's all paved. Gorgeous, gorgeous place. I think it says it's like 11 miles one way or something like that. But I stretched that to 30 miles because I can go into a little town called Port Royal. I ride around there. Then there's some historical things, some old fort and stuff like that to see. And then I lock it up and I go for a walk. There's a boardwalk with observation tower. I go climb that, and then I go to Beaufort and I do the historic area and some other areas there, and then maybe have something to eat, and then I ride back. So I can do that. That's one day. Like that's a day. I can go there in the morning, spend several hours there doing this stuff, and come back in the evening just fine, and I'm happy as a daisy. I don't have to live there, but I can do this. And then there's other places to do that.
Change your environment.
Yeah.
That's good. Yeah.
You got to change your environment. That is really, really important. You really should change your environment because it clears your mind, and you got to get out of your normal surrounding so you can think differently. Like your perspective will change. You can see there's other ways to live. You can see there's some other things that people are doing that maybe you didn't do or maybe you didn't think of it, and then maybe there's some better ways to do it. Maybe you can learn from that and incorporate something in your daily routine and say, hey, I see them doing this and I'm not doing that. Maybe I should do that. Whatever works for you. That's why there's no direct answer. You have to do what you like. You can say, I just hate riding bicycles. Okay, you don't have to do that. I like to go kayaking. Okay, then go kayaking. We got lakes over here. I got a couple of kayaks as well. We go when the weather's nice. We go kayaking in the lakes. It is a lot of fun as well. So do something physical. The easiest, of course, is just to go for a walk. We have a great couple of places around here that I also go to. North Augusta has the Greenway, which is nice as well. And then Augusta has a very nice Greenway. I mean, you start right downtown with that, bricked walkway, river walk. And I don't know if there's any construction because for a while that was closed because of the, the storm damage the year before. But, I think it's open now.
It's back open now. You got the canal.
Yeah. Can't wait to do the canal. The canal is awesome. I mean, I love going. That's why I bought an e-bike that's like a mountain bike because you can go off-road with this. It's not like a huge off-road, but it's not paved. I don't want to blow a tire. So I have this, 4-inch wide tires, and so they're good for that. And it is awesome. So you're riding on the Augusta Canal. On one side, you see Augusta Canal. On the other side, you see Savannah River. You're just like on a little narrow land. It is awesome. The view is great. Then you end up at the Savannah, with the Lock and Dam or whatever that is that used to be there. That's historic. I love looking at that stuff. The view is great. And then you can turn around and go back, So it is a great place. Plus, I don't know if they changed this from the storm, but before the storm hit, we had all these trees there. So even in the middle of the summer, the whole path is pretty much in the shade. So it keeps you from getting all hot. So that is a great benefit to us in this area that we should go. And I do it all the time. So as long as it's open, I'm going to start doing it again because that is really right here, But I get bored, I like to do new things. So I go to Beaufort, I go to Columbia. Columbia, South Carolina has some really nice greenways along some rivers as well. My wife likes to walk more than riding a bike. So we do walk a lot. So we go there. And that is beautiful there as well. And then you have, a little bit further away, some places to go to. But, have you ever been to, Jekyll Island or St. Simon's? Those are nice, a little bit further away. Maybe spending a night in a hotel will be a good thing. And then, go back. But Jekyll Island, you can ride a bicycle or walk. The whole island is basically a park. And it's really, really neat. and St. Simon's is very nice. So, those are things that sometimes people don't think about, and they're really not super far from here,
And
So,
it's not very expensive. All of those things you
no,
mentioned are some great getaways, some great adventures where, when you get
yeah,
outside like that, change your environment, do a little physical activity with it, that immediately relieves that
yeah,
stress. So Dr. Dan, we're at that time now. So,
yeah.
go ahead and wrap it up for us. Share whatever you want to share at the with the listening audience, and then we'll close
That's the
it out.
power of
Well,
awareness.
yeah, just think about if you're doing enough to de-stress yourself. Are you managing your stress? Is it running your life, or are you living the best life you can live? And then just think about it. And if there's things that you can improve upon, well, start taking steps now to improve upon them. If you're interested about chiropractic care, we do, wellness care as well. And that's what I have the program called Power Wellness. And by the way, I haven't raised the prices. They're the same as they were before. I thought about it, but I think it's good to stay at the same level still. So I'm still $79 for 4 treatments for the Power Wellness. That's what we are. So
Less
under
than
$20 a
copay.
bit.
Less than
Yeah, I mean, I can do that still, and I'm happy to do it,
awesome.
because I like people to come and take advantage of that, and I stay pretty busy, so but we do need an appointment. So if somebody wants to come see us, call us 803 641 9191. Or go to our website, aikenchiropractic.com. A lot of people choose to request appointment on their website, and then I get their name and reason for wanting to come, their phone number and the email, and then I'll give it to my staff the next day, and they'll call him the next day and see what's going on. Or you can just call us directly. I mean, we're there 5 days a week. And Dr. Beverly came back a little bit. She took a semester off from school and decided to work a little bit, which helps me a little bit. And
Awesome.
so, I'll be there mostly, but she's also doing, a couple of days a week as well. So for the time being, she's not going to do it forever. She just took a semester off. But hey, that helps me out, and I love having her. She's been with me over 16 years,
Awesome.
and she's very, very good. So, do the best you can to distress yourself and turn the TV off as much. And I go on YouTube more than I do TV because on YouTube you can search for what you want. I like traveling. I
Right.
like reading about some destinations I haven't been. I like reading about motorcycles, e-bikes, healthcare. I subscribe to a lot of doctors. Some are chiropractors and some are, orthopedic doctors and neurologists and also the nutritionists. So I like to learn all that stuff. That's where I get some of this information from.
All
Don't
right.
listen to politicians. Listen to doctors. Listen to professionals.
There you go.
Let them tell you the way you should really do.
All right,
That's
Dr.
good.
Dan. Thank you
That's
so
good.
Yeah,
much for that wealth of knowledge that you shared with us
yeah,
on this morning, and also just sharing some things that
yeah,
causes stress in our life, those normal stresses, those chronic stresses, and some things
yeah.
that we can do to alleviate the stress.
That's it.
So,
That's
Let's just
good.
have a great year. Let's just choose to have a great year. That's what
That's
we got to
it.
do.
Intentionally.
there you go.
Yeah,
Be
Intentionally.
choose
intentional.
it.
Be
Right.
intentional.
Yeah.
Intentional. Yes.
All
All
right,
right,
Dr.
Dr.
Dan.
Dan.
You
Well,
have
we
a
will
good one.
see
Awesome,
you. We got to get together and ride the bike.
awesome.
We got to put the meditate because we ain't really put the
Yeah,
Christian on it yet. So we need to
yeah. When the
take
weather gets a little nicer, we're gonna do it. We'll text each other, and we'll go. I mean, I
okay.
could meet you somewhere, and we'll go do it. I'll
Yeah,
show
All
you
right.
the places I go. You'll love
All
it.
right.
we'll figure it out.
All right. We're gonna do
Bye,
that. All
everybody.
right.
All
All
right,
right.
Dr.
See you
Dan. See you
later.
next month.
All right. See
Bye.
you next month. Bye bye.
All right. Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Awesome. Good.
Always
Good.
awesome.
So they had a
Dr.
son to
Dan.
relocate in Europe. That's
Oh,
good. He gets to
just yeah.
experience life and
Yeah.
he can choose to stay or come back,
I'm back. That's
So
right.
we have to let our kids, we have to let them fly,
We have to let
we
them
have
fly.
to leave the nest.
That's
And
it.
so let them explore and find their own paths.
That's right. And
We have
sometimes that
to,
can
yeah.
cause some stresses, but
Yeah,
you
especially for
train them
moms,
long. That's why
especially
you
for
have to
moms.
train them up in the way they should go, and you know
Yeah,
that
that's true.
they're always come back
And
and
we have
get
to
back to you.
prepare them ahead of time.
That's right.
So that's right.
So
All
listen,
right, guys.
we hope you guys got something out of this
Yes.
today about stress and how chiropractic care can help you with stress, and there's some other things that can help you manage stress, especially changing that environment, getting outside, walking, doing some things, and just you can even change your environment in your home. Go to another room because
Mhm.
we all got rooms. We probably
I
don't
did
even
that recently. I did my
yeah,
office. I
probably don't
redid
even
my
go into
whole
that.
office. I went in there when I said I just need to do something different. My husband came home, the whole office is different. Yes.
So go to another room in your house. Visit another room that you don't hardly stay in.
Right.
So you can do something to alleviate some stress. We're gonna have those normal life stresses that we have to. You just learn how to
gotta manage them.
put some coping mechanisms in place so that we
healthy
healthy. You're right, Jackie.
Yes.
Healthy coping mechanisms so we can overcome that stress.
Yes.
All right. We want you to stay tuned for the Concerned Ministers Fellowship. You Matter with Pastor Bush is coming up right after us at 9 a.m. Saturdays with Sean at 10 a.m. and Midday Motivation with Alicia G at 11 a.m. and Tony will be on this evening at 6 p.m. with the New Artist Profile. Don't miss our weekly shows. Minister Deborah Pearson with Morning Praise at 8 a.m. Pastor Smalls got Morning Praise Devotion at 10 a.m. and Community Matters on Mondays at 11 a.m. Then we have Sister Mary Harris with the Afternoon Praise Cafe Monday through Friday at 12 p.m. Minister Arlene Edwards is talking it up at 3 p.m. Monday through Friday. Then have dinner with the flock at 5 o'clock every Monday through Friday. Reginald Forrest, Education Matters, Tuesdays at 11 a.m. And Pastor O'Neill will be transforming lives right here every Thursday at 11 a.m. And then Pastor and Sister Gwen Smalls like Community Matters again on Friday at 11 a.m.
And guys, we'd like to thank you for listening to Help Matters here on Shout 94.7 FM, the voice of the gospel true. Remember, we are here to help you to become a better you, to be the best you that you can be. We like to leave you with 3 John 2. We wish above all things that you may prosper and be in good health, even as your soul prosper. Guys, remember, always sow and show an act of kindness to someone, because you never know when the act of kindness may be extended back to you. We love you. Remember, you matter and your help matters. See you later.
Health is life. Your health matters. You matter. Health begins in the spirit and the mind. Take time to love you. Live well. Be well.
Yeah, let's go.
Health matters to me.
Come on, get up, cause you tuned into the station for your morning motivation to get your education for your health and your spiritual needs.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, strong will to empower the people, to promote the peace, no positive attitudes, behavior as a lifelong dream goes.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, health matters and we're here to help you become a better you, to be the best you, the best version you can be.
Health matters to me.
Yeah, and it's time for this classic, fantastic food for your soul. Here's Jackie and Coach Patrick right here. Let's go.
Health matters.